Why does God make us suffer? There are a lot of implications to this age-old question. One of them is intent. Is any of this suffering and pain intentional? Is any of it real or a choice? Another implication to this question is that God and us are two separate things. One entity causes the suffering and another is the receiver of it. In terms of intention, there has previously been discussion on the usefulness of catalysts or events that act as catalysts for learning and growing. So we may philosophically argue that suffering is useful to entities that want to grow spiritually. In terms of how real an experience really is, from a higher dimensional perspective, none of this is real, as none of this is permanent. Scientifically speaking, experiencing is a very subjective act that relies on perception, reading, and understanding, so much so. It can be said that every individual being lives in a universe of their very own making, and yet at the same time, the interconnectedness of life makes the above a total paradox. On one hand, we appear to be interconnected and interdependent, literally defining ourselves based on the other, and on the other hand, we create the totality of our experience based on how we read and perceive life through our unique lenses and filters, thusly creating a unique world that no other being can live in, as no other being perceives this world quite as we do. Very much a paradox, and that is why the embrace and development of a quantum or multidimensional perspective continues to be a priority for evolving consciousnesses. Many philosophical and spiritual teachings describe the true nature of the universe as emptiness or pure awareness, perceived life being nothing more than an illusion that we should detach ourselves from. A body is no body, enlightenment is no enlightenment, and so on. And yet we continue to dwell on this illusion that we seem to find ourselves, regardless of the evidence of it being such. In terms of choosing our destiny or life experience, one can argue that if that were the case, then it follows that there is a purpose for experiencing. We all have heard the rumor that the physical universe is expanding, which is another way of saying it is growing. So, if our experiences, including our suffering, make us grow, then we may be causing the universe to grow. As above, so below, goes the saying. In terms of the idea that God and His creation are two separate entities, one can argue that if God is all that is, then His creation is part of Him. We often hear that we are co-creators in life. Therefore, we have a hand in choosing our destiny and co-creating the evolution of our collective consciousness. Suffering, then, isn't just a catalyst for growth. It is also a choice that we take, not just as human beings, but also as multidimensional divine co-creators. This understanding, deeply felt, should resonate a sense of strength in oneself, but also a sense of trust in the process of life. A relief that we're not victims of circumstances, but integral parts of an epic unfolding of events. There is a reason to all this. Ultimately, exploring our own beingness is the underlying purpose for experiencing life. Many distractions work towards hindering our grasping of this. But when the distractions are our own co-creation, then we may come to see that tragedy and comedy are two sides of the same unreal coin. Truth is multi-layered, and the more we grow, the more layers we penetrate. The more layers we penetrate, the more we realize that our dealings in life are simultaneously of paramount importance and of no consequence at all. Controlled madness is a term that has been used to describe the act of engaging with life while maintaining an active knowing that it is an illusion. You engage, but simultaneously you are detached. You give your earthly tasks the attention they deserve, but you know that this is all a game of consciousness. Ultimately, the reason one should cultivate a form of controlled madness is because through engaging in life we have a chance at liberating our other selves from the matrix, so we can all be free together as one. But then, liberation is no liberation, hence even our high purpose of liberating others must have detachment as its base. We are all already free, for we are all children of God, and our identity is all we need, is all we are. To sum up, long road to the well, to fill a bottomless cup. I'm not thirsty.